Welcome, friends and allies, to the Exploring More podcast. Michael Thompson hanging out with SJ Jennings, and we are going to explore today, and maybe I think we're going to do one more of these, but the film explorations.
Yeah, a little more of our favorites. A couple of our favorites.
Our favorites, and I'd even say, these are films and stories that we often use at an encounter. There's
clips
and stories that are written in Heart of a Warrior and King Me. Mm-hmm. I had a funny moment with chat not too long ago. Submitting a chapter that I was wanting to get some questions for. You know how polite chat is? I mean, wow, Michael, this is a great idea. I'm really glad you're trusting me with this. I'm like,
creepy.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Creepy.
So
trying to earn your love and affection.
But it came back with, I really like how you use movies and films for illustrations.
Yeah.
They're very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know.
Yeah, thanks.
So even chat agrees. So...
Did you know you can change the tone with which it interacts with you? Did you know that?
No.
You can turn it into a coach who's a little more direct and intense, and you can adjust that.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, I as weird as it is, I have a good relationship.
You say
chat.
Please and thank you to
that's right.
when you ask questions. Yeah.
So that
when when there are robot overlords, maybe they'll remember us.
That's right. That you were kind to me.
That's right.
You always wrote kind responses.
That's right. Yeah.
So we did this some weeks ago where we looked at some of the films and stories. As we've said before, from the stage and at times, stories and particularly film, right? They have a way of really capturing scenes, lines. I mean, most people know more film lines than they do scripture.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's I'm not being derogatory about that. I'm just saying
something resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could name some films and just kind of go back and forth with scenes and lines that we remember. And so, and I think that's why the scriptures need to be understood and as this incredible story,
a narrative,
not just this academic pursuit of theology. And I think that's the brilliance of The Chosen. I think they have taken and brought color and life and lines and ways that Jesus could have said this, or ways that Simon looked when he was, casting his nets on the other side.
They cast the perfect actor for Peter.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah, all of them have very endearing to their role properties. And so, anyway, this is why we're kind of stepping back into this. We heard a lot of good feedback and a lot of good responses from listeners and friends.
Yeah, a lot of guys were surprised we did the Notebook the last time.
I was hoping for that, actually. Yeah, in many ways.
Yeah.
And there's one other thing before we take the break that I just want to reestablish, that the power that these scenes and these lines have are drawing their power from something larger, something more. To have an affinity for Robert the Bruce as he storms up the stairs and says, "I will never be on the wrong side again." To have to see that scene in Amadeus when Salieri is saying, "I will block your chosen," talking about his real hatred, right, for Mozart and the gift that you've given him and not to me. I mean, it's almost Lucifer type.
Yeah.
And so the correlations that we have learned to make between why does that scene or why does that film, or why does that line strike such a chord in me? We've said it before. It's because there's such a chord to be struck.
To be struck, yeah.
And it invites us. It invites us to see and feel something very, very transcendent.
We talked about the tuning fork.
Yes.
Before, right?
Yeah, super.
The resonance of that sound
to resonate with the sound
will make the
the
string in the piano vibrate at the same frequency.
Yes, that's a beautiful reminder of that's it. We are attuned to story, the overarching elements of good versus evil, of love, of sacrifice, of brotherhood, of friendship, of heroism, right? The underdogs, all of this stuff. These themes just there. I mean, films and stories have all of these elements.
Yeah.
And we are attuned to them. We have an affinity for them. And our lives are stories. You know, as we walk with the Father Matters groups on Wednesdays and Thursdays, SJ, it is story after story after story after story.
Yeah. Well, I think we've told it before, but when we come back from the break,
okay,
we'll tell the story. You can tell the story again about, because as you were sharing, I was thinking about, well, what did people do before there were movies and television? Well, they had books and they had the theater, right? And that goes back as far as recorded history goes.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So what is it?
The players.
I'll set you up with this question. What is it that people are looking for in their pursuit when they go to seek entertainment?
I'll need a moment during the break
to remember the story I'm referring to.
Make sure I get the answer right. So we'll be right back on the Exploring More podcast.
Yeah, so possibly one of the most profound moments of my life, really. It was up at one of the old Top Gun events in the mountains up in Virginia, and I remember just really struggling, sitting up literally on top of the mountain. I hiked up there that day, looking out over the camp. It's beautiful, and feeling like I was in the presence of so many men that had such a connection with God. That what's wrong with me? Why doesn't God ever talk to me? Like all these guys are talking about this great experience. And so I spent some time reflecting on that. And as I was walking back down the mountain, all that was in my head was, God, I need you. I need to hear you. I need to hear your voice. I need to hear, some semblance of life from you. And as I'm walking, I literally start hearing this running water in the middle of coming down a mountain. I mean, there's not really anything around but brush. It's a mess, and my legs are getting all torn up by the brambles. And I hear this running water, and so I'm thinking, God, this is crazy. And I start to walk over towards it, towards the sound, and find this running creek of just amazing, beautiful spring water. A nice mountain spring that shouldn't have been there. And in my head, I was thinking about God and the sort of the analogy of the river of life and all these things. And then there's this water in the stream, and all of this is happening at once, but I'm thinking to myself, just like show me some kind of light, Lord, show me a light. I'm almost the movie, what's the movie with Bruce Almighty where, show me a sign, and he keeps going by the billboards every time, and he never, just show me a sign, and the signs are all over like falling off of trucks. It was that silly almost that I in my head phrased the words, I just need a light or something from you. And I look down in the stream, there's literally a yellow flashlight sitting in the bottom of the stream. I'm not making this up. And so in my head, I'm just questioning, this is so stupid. There's no way this is actually happening. And I sort of made this condition with myself. If I pick up that flashlight, it works. This is real. Dude, I swear, I picked up that flashlight, flipped it. It was a pelican light covered in moss. It shone a light as clear as could be. And it was just amazing. And I kind of heard, felt, experienced, I hear you. I see you, and I've got something for you. It was just amazing, and I've been off ever since. Like, you can't come back from that. It was pretty wonderful and pretty powerful.
Welcome back to the Exploring More podcast, where I've been given a pop quiz question that I'm looking. Hopefully, I can swing at and hit. The first thing.
So the question was,
yeah,
what is it that people are looking for, all the way back through recorded history? They're going to the theater, they're going to the arena, they're going. What are they after?
Yeah.
It's not just entertainment.
Right.
Is our hypothesis.
Right.
So
well,
go ahead.
To make my answer sound smarter than it might, I'm gonna first bring up Dietrich Bonhoeffer.
Mm-hmm.
So Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a kind of a one-man wrecking crew, if you will, theologian in Germany during the time of World War II.
Yeah.
And very, very anti-Nazi,
sure.
Anti-Hitler. How he could wrestle with or justify the wanting to see Hitler taken out.
Yeah.
And yet theology and God.
Mm-hmm.
But he said about the red light district. He said about the red light district that those soldiers, those men who walk those streets in the red light district, they're looking for God.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never recovered from that. C.S. Lewis talks about desire and longing and want and hope, all of those things in such a way as they are our internal construct to actually have us looking for the thing that will satisfy all desires, longing, and hope. So without getting into more of mere Christianity and many other places that Lewis wrote about that. And I love that because desire was so often associated with sin. And what Lewis said was basically badness is corrupted goodness.
Yep.
That something has to be good
right
for it to be.
That's the story of creation. Satan doesn't create anything. But he's not a creator. There's one creator. But what he can do is pervert
good
God's creation.
Good word.
For his own purposes.
Yeah. So when I
pervert, corrupt.
When I was I think the story. So all that to set up when the story that I think we're after is when I was in grad school in seminary getting my master's in biblical counseling. I got to take a course in basically sociology and from a Christian worldview, and the philosophy and how to have a biblical perspective regarding culture. And this professor, who was actually the dean of that school, he started to really get on a soapbox, if you will, and be very derogatory, unkind, at least, and actually just an attitude about film and movies. And people go to movies to escape. People go.
It's perversion.
And I had been waking up to a lot of this stuff that we're talking about before we get into our film. And I remember raising my hand and later found out from a classmate, you really don't raise your hand in his classes, so that it didn't.
He doesn't care what you think.
He doesn't care what I think, and I kind of kept it up, and he's looking at me, still talking and stuff. So, and I'm like 38, so it's it was a very, and I said, I have another perspective about why people go to the movies, to films, to stories. I said, I don't think they're trying to escape their reality. I think, like Lewis says, they're trying to find their reality. They're trying to be brought back out of domain, domestic, and just the chores and into the heroic, into the themes that remind them that that's what human
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Right. Can you be sent to the principal's office when you're 38 years old?
Well,
because I imagine that's what he wanted to do, is just get you out of this class, right?
Yeah, I think I don't remember raising my hand anymore, because I don't think I'm not sure he acknowledged or agreed, or he didn't make a spectacle.
He just moved on.
He didn't make a spectacle of
Yeah,
me, which that would have been something else. But the film that we're looking at this time, that's powerful and significant, and I want to talk about the different reasons before we show the trailer. Is the film, and I love this because Robert Duvall just passed recently.
Yeah.
He
Great,
just passed. One
great
of the great
actor.
Yes, all the way back to The Godfather and before.
So Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird in 1962 was his first role.
I did not know that.
Yep.
So,
62 or 63.
But
he didn't speak a word. If you know the story, To Kill a Mockingbird, he had no lines in the film. Which, what a challenge!
Now I've got to look at that.
First-time actor. Oh yeah.
62.
Yeah.
But great actor, long career.
I only know that because he's been at the forefront. It's not like I'm a Robert Duvall.
Yeah, the interviews, the reels,
aficionado.
as actors of that caliber, have passed over the years. You see more. They're honored.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of a Robert Duvall honor, but also this is a masculine journey story. This is a and so the question about the Secondhand Lions is the film that we're going to explore a little bit today. And what did you love about it?
Secondhand Lions. What do I love about that film? There's several different things. I mean, the redemptive story for the little guy. He's most famously known for The Sixth Sense. Haley Joel Osment. But seeing him again, I remember watching the film and thinking, it's hard. He's just, unfortunately, one of those characters. When you see him in his first role, you kind of remember him as that character, and so now.
Can you believe
I had
him
to
in
shut
this?
I had to shut that
one?
off a little bit as watching the film. But just his story of kind of dealing with his mom, and her story, and so he kind of ends up getting dumped in with these two. Characters, codgers, coots,
crotchety.
We just keep going with the alliteration, C words, codgers, coots, crotchety, cranks, but
somehow distant uncles.
Crusty.
Distant uncles, I think.
They are distant uncles, And the rumors swirling around that they have just tons and tons of money buried on their property somewhere. So anyway, she's trying to work a grift with them, and so his journey with his mom is tragic. And
no dad in the story,
exactly.
No men.
Yep.
No
he kind of gets cast in with these two characters, and his out of his depth immediately. Does not understand what's going on, doesn't get the rules.
Yeah.
But what's great is, like the Lions, the Secondhand Lions, they take a liking to him and start to teach him. And bring him along, bring him up, of just really what life does not have to be. To me, I'll end my explanation with this. It's an example of life is meant to be this adventure, and you're not meant to be in a cage. You're not meant to be captive the way lions in a zoo are. You're supposed to go out and live your life and live it well. And we'll talk about the scene in a minute, but the one character, Hub McCann, talks about who he is later in the film. We'll get to that one. Yeah. It's just terrific. Just and it's what's interesting about it is, most of the time when we've used it or talked about it, guys have never seen the film.
Yeah,
it's kind of a quiet,
obscure,
a little film. That not many folks have seen, but it's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah. So just for context, we're gonna break into the trailer. So watch this, and then we'll be right back.
Roll, damn it. Leave us alone.
The last thing we need is some little sissy boy hanging around all summer.
Nice doggy. Go play.
Take him to the orphanage right this minute.
Whether we take him to the orphanage or tie him up and throw him in the lake is our business, not yours.
For Walter, spending the summer with his uncles was the last place he wanted to be.
Gentlemen, do you worry about the future? The Mississippi Mutual Insurance Company.
He was stuck in the middle of nowhere.
You sleep up there. We don't know nothing about kids.
If we kick off in the middle of the night, you're on your own.
With two crazy old men.
There he is!
And nothing to do.
Is it okay if I go inside and watch television?
Ain't got one.
No television?
Hey!
No TV.
But sometimes you can find adventure in the most unlikely places.
They say these two old men got millions stashed away. Nobody knows where they got it. They stole.
They're bank robbers from the 20s and 30s.
You two disappeared for 40 years. Where were you?
You know what I don't like about house guests? Dinner table chit-chat, chit-chat.
New Line Cinema presents
Who do you think you are, huh?
Hub McCann. I fought in 2 world wars and killed many men and loved only one woman.
Why aren't you helping him?
Hub always holds the bad guys.
Michael Caine,
This was the best idea you ever had.
You bought a used lion?
It's defective.
Can I keep him?
Robert Duvall,
Those stories are true, aren't they?
Sometimes the things that may or may not be true are the things that a man needs to believe in the most.
Haley Joel Osment,
If I'm gonna live here, there's gonna be some conditions.
Conditions.
No more dangerous stuff. No fighting teenagers, no airplanes, more vegetables,
Make you live to be 100. You live to be 100.
less meat.
All right.
Good barbecue.
You expect us to die of old age?
Secondhand Lions. Directed by Tim McCandless.
Okay, so that's that. You know, that's the summary.
Right.
Right. And he's Haley Joel Osment is so not wanting to be there. They don't want him there.
His eyes are like saucers most of the time.
when the pig comes up, he goes, "Nice doggy."
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
totally
he
out
doesn't
of his
even.
element.
You know, where's this kid been?
Right.
And there's not a lot in the trailer, but you said it before. His relationship with his mom is one of honestly constant deceit.
Yeah.
And she is a bit of a gold digger.
She's a grifter.
She's trying to find
Yeah.
the man
He's
she
a
can
nuisance to her,
Right.
in many ways.
Right. And so yeah, and I also appreciate what you said about adventure. So you honestly have two different stages of the masculine journey.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are elder sages.
They're probably our age.
have
honestly in the film. They're probably I know. But they're probably in the late 50s, early 60s. I mean, that would be my guess because they're still pretty virile, you know, and getting around okay.
We'll say late 60s.
Okay. All right.
But
10, 12 years for us.
and it's two brothers, Hub and Garth.
Yeah.
And
Michael Caine in a very
trying to do a bit of a southern accent.
That's hilarious.
He's really not good at that.
Uh-huh.
But he's a great character because he embodies. They together embody. It's Michael Caine's character that Haley Joel talks to.
Yeah.
Gets perspective.
He's more approachable.
But there's a strength and a powerfulness to Hub, So together they kind of make this one man that has both the skill set to help a boy recover. And so it is a story, and they do a beautiful job of going back in time to Hub and Garth's story, the Foreign Legion,
right?
French Foreign Legion.
Foreign
Yeah. And so what has that got to be in the 30s? I mean, I think the film is kind of captured in the 60s.
Late 50s. Her car that she's driving, that's how I kind of
That's
mark the time.
gate, yep.
But the mom is driving a, mid 50s Cadillac.
Okay.
So maybe early 60s.
So yeah,
if I'm
they're
remembering right.
they're literally
So-
their service time would have been in the 30s and maybe 40s.
It might have been, and it might have been. I mean, they might have been just on the edge of the age for World War I, because the scene later, which again we'll talk about when Hub is talking about fighting on multiple continents. Some of the things he was describing, that's not World War II.
Yeah.
That's where they were and how they happened.
Yeah.
You don't go into the, okay, so I'm just going to dive into it. When he's talking to this punk in the diner, which
we'll set this up. This is setting it up then.
He says he's gone into battle with everything from horses and tanks. So
Artillery.
horses is World War I, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. So before we show this clip and why we're showing it, I mean these are the elements of in this story is an incredible love story between Hub and this woman Jasmine, right? On the soils of the Sultans, right? And so rescuing her, so you get to go back in these flashbacks that bring story to Haley Joel Osment's character, and so he becomes. I remember when they walk him upstairs and just throw his suitcase on this old bed in the attic, and all the dust comes poofs up. It's just it's a fun film, but and don't make any noise, you know. So he's just kind of in his bed, like but he's that orphaned character, reminding me of Harry Potter. I mean, he's this orphaned character, as many of us have experienced it at one time or another, and yet it's not the cushiest welcome, but he's brought in to, these men need him. Let me say this. These men need him as much as he needs them. Because they're lost too. Yeah. Their life, they feel, is behind them. They sit on a porch and shoot shotguns at door-to-door salesmen. So it's just,
that's their entertainment.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But you started to bring up, and so I brought up Jasmine to say, the love story in the midst of the fierce battle, good versus evil, because the final clip we're going to show is pretty important about the speech that he gives. But this clip, they're in an old. General store diner,
soda fountain,
having barbecue, and these these greasers, these hoods, these
ne'er-do-wells.
I think of our Fonzie, they come in and they just they're hoodlums. And let me hey old man, let me have some of your barbecue. So in this moment, though, and they'll see it, our friends will see it on the clip, this is like that gladiator moment when Commodus is saying, take off your helmet and tell me who you are. Yeah. It's that powerful,
right.
I think.
Identity. Sure.
That he knows who he is.
What I love about it is right beforehand, when he smacks the hoodlum's hand away, Yeah. He says he just ignores the hoodlum and talks to his Garth and what's Haley Joel the kid's name? Anyway, talks to them both and says, "Now, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Ever since this young man's been nursing, his mom was nursed by his mom. Yeah, he's been given everything he wants,
but discipline.
So who do you think you're talking to?
Oh yeah, Yeah, man. So
who the heck are you?
Let's watch this clip, and then we can chat about it some more.
Get some beers. Hey, old man. How's that barbecue? Give me some.
We're busy. Before I get lost, all right?
What did you say?
here's a perfect example of what I've been talking about. Since this boy was suckling on his mama's tit, he's been given everything but discipline. And now his idea of courage and manhood is to get together with a bunch of punk friends and ride around irritating folks too good-natured to put a stop to it.
Hey, who do you think you are, huh?
Just dumb kid, Hub. Don't kill him. Right. Hub McCann. I fought in 2 world wars and countless smaller ones on 3 continents. I led thousands of men into battle with everything from horses and swords to artillery and tanks. I've seen the headwaters of the Nile and tribes of natives no white man had ever seen before. I've won and lost a dozen fortunes, killed many men, and loved only one woman with a passion a flea like you could never begin to understand. That's who I am. Now go home, boy.
Show these old bastards who's tough. Get out your knife. Yeah.
Now, boys, you're fixing to let those teenage hormones get you into the world of trouble.
Damn it, Garth, did I ask you to butt in?
Hub, you just come out of the hospital.
Well, hey, there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, but, well, look, you fight this one first, and then I'll let you fight the other 3 after, okay?
Yeah. Watch this, kid.
Now, you better pick that knife up, because, son, you're going to need all the help you can get.
Come on, Frankie. Get him, Frankie. Cut him, Frankie. Get him, Frankie. Get him. Get him, Frankie. Cut him. Oh, get him.
Shoot. Oldest trick in the book.
Oh, okay.
You're holding it wrong, son. Not like this. You always do it like this. Smooth. All right? Try it again.
Come on, Frankie. Come on, Frankie. Get him. Come on. Get him, Frankie. Cut him. Come on. You got it. You got it, Frankie. Come on. Oh, stop.
You 3 better get in there and help.
Why aren't you helping him?
Hub always helps the bad guy. He's selfish that way.
But there's 4 of them. 3 of them.
Go on, Hub. Hey!
Couldn't you share?
After 40 years, I'm used to it. Besides, right now, I figure he needs some worse than I do. Go on, Hub.
All right, welcome back from that.
I mean,
so many fun things in there. You know, Walter's Haley Joe Osment's name.
Yeah.
So Walter his eyes are huge. Like, what is about to happen?
Garth is like, just don't kill him.
Yeah.
You know.
Remember, he's just a kid.
Yeah.
Don't kill him. Yeah. And so Walter is like, is this going to be okay?
Right.
And so, you know, the part where he grabs his arm, flips it around, steals the knife, said, "Look, don't come like this.
Yeah.
You want to do it like this," and tosses the knife back to him. I was like, that's so funny.
Try again.
Yeah. So in this scene, you know, we said that the reason we're showing it is this expression of identity.
Yeah.
That you know, this is who I am. Because he asks, "Who do you think you are?"
Mm-hmm.
And he answers the question
by the throat
in an ordeal.
Yeah.
And what's really, really good, what I loved is somehow, some way, through that, you know what the next scene is?
I don't remember.
He's with all the hoodlums. He has their full attention, and he's giving them the man speech.
Right.
He earned their he earned their respect by kicking their butts.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, let's go ahead.
And they are now listening.
Yeah.
To what it means to be a man, because that's where it started with. You know what the problem is?
Right.
These kids think terrorizing people and running around. You know, I mean, That's not a man.
Preying on the weak.
That's.
He said folks that are too good-natured to tell him any different,
otherwise.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah, and so what I love about that too is that they're hungry for it.
Yeah.
Even as I watch that film again, and I've seen it before, it's like, man, there's something in me that is energized and comes alive to be around a man that is oriented. Now, look, I'm not saying Hub is necessarily oriented the way that we would describe it.
Like Zoe oriented.
But the man knows who he is, you know, and he's not going to compromise, you know, that part of him that has earned the respect.
Right.
You know, on battlefields, I've won and lost a dozen fortunes, you know.
Loved
one woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
And what's funny about the little brawl, like I said, about the knife that he gives him, you know, he gets one of them in a headlock and looks over at, you know, Garth and Walter's like, you know, and then he kind of throws them out one by one. But then comes the speech, and so, that's one of those tugs, you know, on, I think, masculine hearts. Like, I want the speech, and Walter and Garth, they have a little bit of a narrative happening, kind of at the bar, but Walter sees him do that with these older boys. Mm-hmm. And it strikes a chord in him.
Yeah.
It gets him thinking and feeling. Nobody's ever. I want the speech.
Right.
He saw the transformation, right, of what Hub not only did, and wildly we could say, because it's a film, what Hub did was a kindness in this confrontation to these boys.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he earned their respect, and then he could say, look, the path you're on, let me tell you about the path. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about the path of what a good man is, what a good man does.
Yeah.
So Walter overhears some of that and engages with Garth a little bit, but he just stores it away. Mm-hmm. He stores it away. So this last clip is a clip where, you can imagine, like you said, all the wars, all the stuff. Hub suffers a bit from some PTSD.
No doubt.
He sleepwalks, and with eyes wide open, he is literally kind of transformed, or carried back to some of those moments that haunt him, you know, in different ways. Mm-hmm. So that's what's happening in this scene that we're going to show next, and he ends up, you know, kind of out the front door of this old farmhouse they live in, and by the pond, which is just outside the front. Mm-hmm. And Walter, Haley Joel Osment, actually he's seen it before, but this time, because of what happened in the diner, in the general store, he follows him out there. He's gotten some pieces of the story from Garth. He knows about Jasmine.
Yeah.
And he is compelled, not just curious, he's absolutely compelled to follow his uncle out there and confront him about, I need to know. Mm-hmm. That is the line. I need to know. I need to know what happened to Jasmine. I need to know what I don't know about being you. About you and about being a man.
About being a man.
So watch this clip, and then we'll have some thoughts about that.
What's the matter? What are you doing here? Got something to say to me? Spit it out.
What happened to our Uncle Hub? What happened to Jasmine? I have to know. I have to.
She died. Died in childbirth, her and the baby.
What did you do?
Went back to the only life I knew, back to the Legion. For the next 40 years, there was always one more war to fight. And I got old and came here. Here I am. Here I am. You cold, son? You better hear. You better go inside. Boy, yeah. Boy.
Those stories about Africa. About you. They're true, aren't they?
Doesn't matter.
It does, too. Around my mom, all I hear is lies. I don't know what to believe in.
Damn, if you want to believe in something, then believe in it. Just because something isn't true, that's no reason you can't believe in it. All right. There's a long speech I give to young men. Sounds like you need to hear a piece of it. Just a piece. Sometimes, the things that may or may not be true are the things that a man needs to believe in the most. That people are basically good. That honor, courage, and virtue mean everything. That power and money and power mean nothing. That good always triumphs over evil. And I want you to remember this, that love true love never dies. You remember that, boy. You remember that. Doesn't matter if it's true or not, you see. A man should believe in those things because those are the things worth believing in. Got that?
That was a good speech.
Think so? Thanks.
Okay. What? Respond.
I mean, the 12-year-old boy in me wants that speech.
That's perfect response. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I did not have it growing up.
Yeah.
And so I had it some with my father-in-law, but I was in my 20s by then,
Yeah. Which is not a bad
it's not bad. It was great.
time to get it.
It was
I mean,
absolutely
better late,
great.
right?
No doubt. It was absolutely great.
Yeah.
And I look back on that time with my father-in-law, probably much like, this character, Walter, would look back on his time. Now, my father-in-law didn't have lions and, some of the craziness, but shooting shotguns off the porch. But it resonates. Yeah, it resonates. Going back to the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah. And it's Duvall at his best, I think. It's one of his, in my opinion, of the many great scenes. And he tells this boy the truth. He lets his guard down.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine
shares his story,
and our child, died in childbirth, and so he goes. So I did the only thing I knew to do. I go back to the Foreign Legion. I'm there for I think he says 40 more years.
Yeah.
So, and then I came here, and here I am. He says, and here I am. And so Haley Joe Osment, Walter, the boy. I love when Duvall takes off his blanket. You okay, son? I mean, there's a tenderness to him in this moment,
which you haven't seen much of.
No, and
not from Hub,
right? And they interact, and Walter has become fond of his uncles now. In all of this wild production of things, you can see it, you can feel it in this scene, and he says, "I want you to give me that speech." And he says, "Well, you're not ready, but I'll give you a piece of it."
Yeah.
And then there's a line in there, SJ, about there's certain things a man needs to believe in. And he even brings this caveat into it, whether they're true or not, they're worth believing in, which is a really interesting play, especially in faith spaces and Christianity, where we're all about the truth, and it's about the truth. And I'll never forget another film, The Santa Claus, Scott Calvin.
Yeah.
And the little elf, when she says that's the problem with adults. They think seeing is believing, when actually children know that believing is seeing. And so
I think about the shack too. When Paul Young was asked, is it true? Well, what people are asking is, did it really happen? But that doesn't. No, the answer is it didn't really happen. But it doesn't mean it isn't true.
Right. So back to this, so that this can be less offensive. What Duvall says is what I'm trying to say. That so we promote Santa. It's not that he's real in the sense that he does what children believe he does, but they believe in who and what he stands for.
Right, the loving, giving spirit.
So that there's just elements to that line that I want anybody who's going to watch it to I want to reclaim before it gets criticized, because he talks about there's things worth believing in: honor, courage, and virtue. And he's saying that even though you may not see those things, maybe they're not in your world, they're still worth believing in, whether they're true to you or not. And that then he says and about love, and that true love never dies. And so, I mean, boom, here comes the gospel.
Even if the one you love does.
Here comes the gospel.
But here comes the gospel.
Right.
Yes.
Here comes the gospel in Secondhand Lions. And it reminds me of Lewis's thoughts about Christianity and the Son. And you might have to help me with this, but it's basically that it's not the light that I see, it's from the light, by the light that I do see.
He says that the sun rises, and I believe it's risen not just because I can see the sun rise over the horizon, but because I can see everything else
because of what
light.
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think of that with Hub's thought and comment that believing in these things are the way to see a world that has right and wrong, good and bad. Most people are good. Bad things happen.
Yeah.
And the reality of honor, courage, right? And these are the things that are worth believing in. So the man's speech, right? The man's speech, in essence, is about what you believe in.
Yeah.
And the boys,
and he's imparting wisdom,
and the boys
that's
who do not have the discipline, who feel entitled. I mean, they believe that I'm entitled, and believe that this is the way to operate. to take advantage of folks. So he's the lecture and that part that he gives to Walter. I just thought, yeah. And so I thought that's beautiful. I remember feeling, there's things I want to believe in that around me there's not sometimes the evidence that makes them true, but they're still worth believing in. And as I have believed in things, I've seen them come more and more true.
Yeah.
I've seen them come more and more true. And so in the context of that coming of age, and he just gives him a piece of it, right, SJ? He just gives him a piece. So then it turns to good speech. Duvall's like, you think so? I need you to stick around and give me the rest of the speech. So it really moves from not just what you said, but you. I want you.
Because
I need you.
Hub's a man on the edge, because of what he's endured.
Yes.
And, growing older and all of that. So, yeah.
And bringing purpose.
Right.
So the whole film, they still are quite ornery, Garth and Hub, and there's some more film and story that comes after that. But Walter actually stands in front of them and says, if I'm going to stay, there's got to be some changes. It's a beautiful moment by this 12-year-old. And they're like, really?
But internally they love it.
Yes,
they love it.
That's what you want to see.
To do.
So
That's
when they try to dial down the adventure and stuff like that, but the story ends with him, through college and after college. It's just it's a beautiful, not just coming of age for the Walter, but even coming of age for Hub.
Sure.
And
it's redemptive.
Garth. It's absolutely.
I mean, they're castaways. Walter is, Hub is, Garth is. The Walter is told by his mom over and over again he's kind of a handicap to her lifestyle, whether she says that or not directly. That's what she's communicating. And Hub and Garth are, there's these crotchety old dudes and nobody's got any use for them anymore.
Yeah.
And yet here comes the redemptive when they all come together.
Yeah.
And, give each other purpose.
It just comes to me, man, we can wrap, but it just comes to me that speech that he gives Walter, honor, courage, virtue, is he gives it to Walter. And yet, it's the very thing he needed to hear.
Mm-hmm. It's a reminder
to be the kind of man that he used to be.
Yeah,
that he has it in him to be, and that this boy needs you to be,
and that little boy believes he is.
Yes,
right.
Love it. Yeah. I love all of that. So
there's
our critique and
exploration
and promotion of. If you haven't seen this film, you might want to give it a look. It's a lot of fun, and kind of I think a family can circle around.
I don't remember all the details, but you might want to read. What is it? Plugged In online.
Yeah,
kind of goes.
Make sure it's okay, but
before you watch it with your 10-year-old.
But if you do watch it with your 10-year-old, I would say you need to go to McDonald's after.
Right.
Or you need to go.
Yeah.
Go get the ice cream, or go get the
Take
frozen
a walk
yogurt,
in the woods.
and be ready to have that kind of conversation or encouragement that this film sets you up for.
Mm-hmm.
Not only what did you think and what parts did you like, but older men, fathers, grandfathers to grandchildren, just a great open door for you to take a turn. And bring substance and bring presence and bring words to a younger heart that we know that's how it works. God made it that way. They need you.
That's right.
And they need you to be able to give them the speech and share with them what is the qualities of a man, of a woman that they have it in them to be, and you're calling it up. So that's what I love about this film. So feel like that's what Jesus is doing to me, the Father, the Holy Spirit. Those things that we maybe didn't get, those kinds of initiation moments and validation moments, I have had since I became aware and awake to these realities, the two realms, the two kingdoms, and the story that I'm in. I feel like it's been an amazing journey of the last 20-some years to be not only validated and encouraged and inspired, and to recover from some of the things that I got and didn't get in my past, but to prepare me for the things that are happening right now.
Yeah.
In this stage, in this season of my life, because they have their. It's different when you're in your 30s and your kids are tweens and teens than when they're older. You need it in a different way, but you still need these virtues and qualities, and opportunity to step back and weigh it out.
We kind of bounced off the runway there. We were landing, but I have to say, I just was watching some stuff about Field of Dreams, and there's a line in there. Who's the doctor? They go and they get the doctor, and I can't remember. He was played
Burt
by
Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster, plays his role.
part.
But he says, all those years ago when I had my one chance with the Yankees, and he didn't get to, he struck out, he didn't make it on base. He thought, well, I just had a bad day. There'll be other days. And, these moments can brush right by us. And we think there'll be another chance to engage in, these great moments in our lives. And a lot of times there isn't another day. That was the day, So to be able to, like, just to land with your point, to be able to see more the importance of
a moment,
not the important moments.
Yeah.
What makes a moment important? They're all important if you're paying attention.
It all matters.
And it all matters.
Yeah.
So, and to hopefully with some of our listeners and viewers, to encourage you guys and hopefully some ladies too, to just pay attention.
Yeah.
To the moments.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about this film is Walter kind of starts out as a nuisance up in the attic, but Hub and Garth start paying more and more attention to the importance of their interaction with him.
Yeah,
and so
the
pay
love
attention to
and the
those
love
moments.
between them.
Yeah,
grows. So it's good. Yeah.
Yep. Maybe we'll do Field of Dreams one time. We'll have to bring in our buddy Jim Shanae. He loves
Get
it.
a guest.
A lot of guys do.
It is. It's a powerful story too. So
all right.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say we're a crowd-funded organization here at Zoe. We bring this to you guys and are able to bring this content to you because of our financial supporters. If you'd like to join that team, zoe.org/give is where you want to go.
Yeah, and we will have some really, I'm really excited to break some news about what we're publishing in April.
Yeah.
And so there'll be some more information coming, but really excited about the Good Man series.
Good resources
and the opportunity to bring this video content in that particular series to men around the world. So looking forward to talking more about that. So thanks for being with us on the Exploring More podcast. We will see you next time. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Exploring More. The landing page for this podcast is zoe.org/podcast. That's ZOWEH.org/podcast, where you can find the show notes and various platforms to which we broadcast. You can also find us and the Life of More by visiting Zoe on YouVersion Bible app, Right Now Media, our Facebook page, and Zoe on Instagram and Twitter. Remember, with God there is always more, and you were made for more.